Hello, welcome to Cards of the Week. I am Bison, and I am with the Night Shadow for this week. This week we have three series. So we'll just start with the first one. The first one is the Sao 2 TD. First card, Lace Self Introduction, Blue Event, 1/1. If you do not have a card with Kyoto in the name on the field, you cannot play this card. Choose one of your character against 2k and gains the ability. When this card refers to its opponent, you may draw a card and then put this card to stock.
Why would this card go to stock if it costs 1?
Yo man, it's technically a 1/0 that requires a stock to actually play.
I guess. Giving 2k and the ability to draw a card on reverse is not bad, actually.
On an event, it's actually pretty good.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not bad. It's practically a free 2k.
Huh. Is it essentially like playing a 2k1 without the soul?
Yeah. As long as if its opponent reverses its opponent, otherwise it just becomes a -1.
But you wouldn't do that without the intention to reverse, right?
No, of course not. If you're given a card 2k, your intention is to beat the card.
So the only way you don't is via backup. Okay. Okay, I can see this card. Yeah.
And in a TD where they could negate the ability to counter, I essentially see this as a free 2k.
Yeah.
So yeah, in a TD it's a very good. In a TD it's a very good event. Most TDs, no, not most TDs. Some TDs don't even have level 1 counters in the first place. So if you look at it, look at this card in a TD wise power range rather than a full booster. It's a really good event. It is a really good event. As a full thing, it'll still beat 1/1500 counters at least. The demerit having a character not having a character in the having a character of Kirito in the name, I don't really see it as a demerit since it's a blue card already.
Yeah. Like, you'd be playing Kirito anyways. Like, why would you run a blue deck without Kirito unless you're running Mono Shinon or something else?
I'm not sure how many cards the actual booster has, but I'm not even sure there's gonna be enough cards for Shinon for a mono deck.
Yeah. So I guess this is the sort of temperament. I like this card.
It's decent. All right.
Shall I move on?
Yep. Next card, Unexpected Encounter of Death Gun. 2/7k. Avatar and weapon. With this card declares an attack. If your opponent controls a target character, this card gains 3k until the end of opponent's turn.
Standard, I think.
No,
Like,
it's not really all that standard.
it's a 2/10k essentially if your opponent has a target, which kind of the deck is based around. So it's like some of those like 2/10ks that have a sort of downside, and the downside here is that you need to give your opponent's target, which is not really that much of a downside.
Yeah, no, it's not really that hard.
I guess because this is a TD, you typically don't get multiple level 3s, so
This is the next best level 3.
yeah, because it's a 2 soul attacker. Okay.
All right, we'll just breeze through the next couple cards. A place to return to Asuna and collected Bacteria Elizabeth, both 003Ks. What is a TD without vanillas? And the only thing of particular note here is that Asuna is a blue character.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, all her previous cards, even her Undine form in Sao 2 was yellow. So the fact that she's blue in this one is actually kind of an interesting touch, but I don't think there's any major ramifications for it.
I think there might be. To start with, it may give a signal that the extra booster Asuna may be blue cards. And the second one is that the extra booster may actually only contain red and blue cards.
Well, we know that already.
We do?
Yeah.
When?
Since the TD got announced.
No, I meant the extra booster itself. There still might be red and green cards.
You
Not
mean there
red,
might be,
yellow and green cards. Yellow and green.
Well, it's a 50-card booster, and if anything like Log Horizon is any effect, I mean, like the last 50-card booster that had a TD only had red and blue.
But you have to remember that Sao already has an established set.
That's true, I guess. I guess it's not 100% confirmed, but the way it's looking right now, and just from the TD alone, it feels like, yeah, it's going to be red and blue only.
Anyways, and the last two finales is Kind Guide Shinon and Resolution to Shoot Kirito. They're both 1/0. They're both 1/0 and 2/1 respectively. I don't really think there's anything particularly to talk about these cards either.
Well, I'm just glad that there won't be that many vanillas in the set then.
Anyways, next card. Interestingly, the last day was not a repeat, so This card is actually from the extra booster itself. Temporary Alliance Kyoto, blue character 002K, avatar and weapon trait. When this card declares an attack, choose another character with the name Shinon in its name, and that character gains 1K to the end of this turn. During your opponent's attack phase, you may send the top deck to waiting room. If that card is an avatar or net, you can move this to your empty front row.
Good card.
Good. It's a good card just because of the second effect.
Yeah.
The first effect is all really debatable because not only there's not enough Shinon cards to actually know about to actually determine how good that first effect is.
But the fact that you can run, and I mean, like, it functions as a mini brainstorm that can run. I mean, like, sure, it requires it to be an avatar or net character, but really, besides Pina, is there really any character that isn't avatar or net?
No. Events.
Well, I said character.
Well, events, if it hits an event, then it's also fucked.
Well, I guess, but I mean, like, the only main event that you really want to be running was Self-Sacrifice from before. There wasn't really any blue event that you really wanted to run. And if this card is going to be a staple, then I think that earlier event that we were talking about may not be as played, but we'll see.
Yep, the second effect makes it I say an initial staple already. So, as for the first effect, that's really dependable on the Shinon cards. So it's all only Shinon cards. The first effect has absolutely no synergy with the first two sets.
So now the question is that runner ability good enough to be part of the main Sao deck?
It's enough to make it good.
It'll be interesting to see.
I think it'll become a staple at least.
It will just have to lower the number of self-sacrifice in the main deck then. Instead of the normal 3 that people run, you have to run 2.
Don't worry. They'll find a way to put another 2/1/1 counter that gets it 3/5.
It's still gonna be an event. Like there's still no 1/1/3/5 counter for characters.
I know that, but I'm just saying they'll somehow make it happen.
There's a 3K and a 4K, but
I know that.
besides that. Alright, let's move on to Nanoha.
Yep.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have fun with this. So first card is Happy Days Hayate. Level 1 cost 0, 4500 power with the book trait. When this card attacks with the climax time alone together, and this climax is a 1k1 gate, you can take the top card of your deck and put it in your clock. If you do, draw a card, and this card gets 2k until the end of this turn. This is one of the saddest parts about Nanoha. This is probably one of the best blue cards in level 1, period.
Are you fucking serious?
I am serious.
I honestly thought this card was shit, and I thought there were actual better blue cards.
There is not like the next best blue card is it requires a 1 magic character in memory, which it's really difficult in mono blue, and it becomes a 6k with character encore during the opponent's turn and 4500 during your turn. That's the next best.
Wow. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about that. Wow.
Yeah, this is the best level 1 blue, and that's saying something. Don't play blue at level 1, please. Unless you're running a mono Hayate deck, in which case, well, I guess your level 2s will make up for it. On the contrary, if you're going to... I mean, like, okay, technically there is one better blue card, but it's in the Gears of Destiny trial deck, and so we don't really talk about it that much.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get without, trying to break your wallet.
Yeah, but this is the best Hayate card at level 1. The best blue card at level 1 is a 1065 that when you play it, you take 1 damage. But that's a Signum, and that's in the Gears of Destiny trial deck only.
Still better than this, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, it's still better than that, but seriously, this is the best booster pack card at level 1.
Yeah. I think every honestly this card is pretty shit. I mean, like this card gained 2k to the end of your opponent's turn, then I would have said something else.
Oh yeah, then that would be fine. But as of it stands right now, level 1 blue sucks. Okay, second card. And I doubt she's a senior, but sure. Senior Nanoha. Level 1 cost 0, 5000 power with the magic and weapon traits. When another magic or weapon character attacks, this card gets 1000 power.
Basically 7k on the last attack.
Normally, these kinds of cards were reserved for Vita. For the first time, Nanoha has a power card at level 1.
I think it's decent, considering that Nanoha can get Encore.
Yeah, there are mono Nanoha Encore characters. There's 3 of them. 1 yellow, 1 in green, 1 in red. It's most widely assumed that the yellow one is the best. I personally like the red one, just because the red one is a Nanoha as well.
In a mono Nanoha deck, that's probably most considering how the new level 3 is, you probably want that card too.
Yeah, you probably want that one. But to be fair, I mean, like if you are typically going to be running the meta build, which I'm assuming to be yellow, red, blue still, having the fade around to Encore Nanoha is not that bad either. It's the green one that's kind of iffy because you give power when it attacks and it gives Nanoha Encore, which kind of is anti-synergistic, as opposed to the Fate, which on play give +1 soul. So there is that, like those different options.
Stop that. The green one isn't even magic trick or any trait that in fact can help.
Yeah, that's the
Nanoha
other
set.
thing. It works best with Fate, because Fate has some Animal Plus stuff, but definitely not with Nanoha.
I think it's a decent card.
I think it's a playable card. It's just not going to be seeing play because there are better options. If you really want to level one attacking Nanoha, you'll get the the 1/1 that becomes level 2 6500 that top decks the character that it reverses.
On play only, but yeah, but that's
On
probably
play
the
or on change only.
on play or on change, but that's most likely the card you want to play anyways.
Yeah, you'll play that card, and if you really want to push that to its limit, you'll just play Sonic Form Fade anyways. Yeah, this card's playable.
It's good as a costless beater.
Yeah, and really Vita does that better. Vita's a 1075.
Well, on play, but that's it.
Yeah, still, I mean, like if you're this card won't survive a turn usually.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, unless you really want to encore it one more time. I mean, like there is that slight niche option. I just don't see it being ran just because the yellow stuff is so much better.
Yeah, at level 1, yellow is usually better anyways. If we're talking about strictly mono Nanoha, this is probably
The best option.
the next best option.
All right, let's move. Oh, hi, Fate. Level 1, cost 1, 4500 power with the magic and clone effects. Maybe traits. When this comes into play, you can ditch one. If you do, look at the top 4, choose a magic or animal character, add it to your hand, and put the rest in the waiting room. As an activated ability, you can rest 2 to choose a magic or animal character to gain 2500. Man, when's the last time you see a Fate in the back row?
Yeah, that's a good point. When is the last time you see a Fate in the back row?
And I'll tell you, Strikers. It was an assist that gave all characters in front of this +1 level and plus 500 power.
Anyway, it's just not bad. If you want to discard and filter your hand, there you go.
I don't think this is a good card. If you want filtering, you have that as a blue support at level 0. And if you want to add power like that, why something on such a weak character? Like I guess if you want to run it in the way that you run 2 Sonic Form Fade and this is the 3rd row, then you can buff 2500 to something and you'll just have a 1 weak row. I guess that's fine, but
or you
but
just
this character
or if
costs
you could
1, and that's my problem with it.
Or you could just do this. You could just make it buff itself, become 9k for a turn, and then be like, yeah, okay, I'm done. This card's gone.
9k.
Yeah.
How are you getting that?
2 R's in the back row.
2 R's in the back row. Well, here's the thing. Like, if you're running the meta build, you typically don't have 4 ARF in the deck, just because like you are going to be running cards that aren't Fate. If you're running a mono Fate build, yeah, definitely 4 ARFs, and you'll have a better option of getting 2 with that brainstorm as well. I guess this will have to be tested then. I don't like the look of it, but that could change with testing. That's my thought on it.
I only see it as a filter. That's all I have to say about it.
If we're gonna use a filter, there's a better one at level 0.
I know that, but
So yeah, I don't agree with that. The only reason that you would run this is the 2500 power boost, which is honestly well then. Next card, the moment that was wished for, Fate and Nanoha. Okay, a slight trivia question. Trivia here. This is only the what? 2nd card that has both Fate and Nanoha that actually have the names Fate and Nanoha on it. They trolled us in Nanoha Ace by giving us a card with Nanoha and Fate, but not actually having Fate's name.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Ugh. Anyways, this is 0/0 1500 power. As an activated ability, you can pay 1 and send this to memory to look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose a magic or clone character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, and yeah, this is the card I'm talking about. This is so much better. You get memory, which the Nanoha series needs. This is playable in both Fate and Nanoha because of the name, and just the fact that the traits are completely and utterly relevant.
Well, to be honest, the Senior Fate one is more relevant in a mono Fate deck in the first place. But yeah.
Yeah. Like, but you can run this in more decks, and it's a level 0 where you put all your tech in Nanoha anyways. Because you want your level 1s to be beaters, you want your level 2s to either disrupt the field or heal, and you want your level 3s to either disrupt the field, deal damage, or heal.
This card is pretty good. It helps it helps with your memory, and it becomes a one-time brainstorm.
Yeah, like I have nothing bad to say about this card. This is a good card.
All do like is when you use this card, you'll probably use it, then it'll be gone.
Yeah,
It probably won't even see combat unless you absolutely have to have stock.
I think this will be run as a 3 of at the most. I don't think you run this as a 4.
I think it might run as just a 2.
I was thinking 2 at first, but then it's like, how often can you reliably get this? Because, I mean, like, there is a new anti-salvage meta picking up, and Nanoha's old method of advantage, which was 8 gates, isn't going to exactly, well, 8 comeback, isn't exactly going to thrive, really.
No problem. No problem. Fate Brainstorm.
Yeah, that's the only other plus besides VVO, and VVO's a pay 2 brainstorm. So Nano has had lack of pluses besides bonds and the comeback trigger. So I think this is a step in the right direction. That brainstorm, and it allows cards like this to be printed. I think that's a good step for Nanoha because, well, they just didn't really have any main advantage outside of their climaxes. All right, let's go to your series then.
All right, last series of this week. It's interesting, enough, like the Sao card. This card was introduced 1 week earlier than it was intended to. Rainbow Colored Story, Nanako Pro, blue character 0025, music trait, auto. When you place the top deck to clock and discard 3 music character from your hand to waiting room. When this card declare an attack for the climax, Ninja Miracle on the climax border, you may pay the stated cost. If you do, search for character of one character of each color, and then show it to your opponent and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck, and the climax is a 1k1 soul draw trigger.
My first thought when I first saw that is like, take 1 damage, ditch 3, search for 4. And then I realized, hold on. This is not only a +1, but you get to search out 4 different cards. Discarding 3 music characters that you probably don't have any use for at the early game, and then getting relevant characters for maybe level 0, level 1, or heck, you can even pull this off at level 2 to get your level 3s ready. This is amazing.
This is not actually a +1 because the 1k1 soul is -1 on play.
I'm at the effect itself. I mean, obviously, it's because it's a climax combo that it's not really a +1. But still, I'm like, it's a wash that you get to select. You get to select what you want, and because Idolmaster decks are 3 to 4 colors anyways, you're going to be basically searching up cards that you're going to be using. Like, what's the worst blue character you can search up? Makoto off time? Like, seriously?
Yeah, honestly, the worst blue character you could possibly search at the worst possible time is off-time Makoto, and that's already a good card.
Yeah.
If you're not playing 4 colors already, it's actually not hard to make 4 colors. Just change all your counters to yellow, or whatever color you're missing, in fact.
Oh yeah, there's that option too, right?
Because Automaster actually has counters for every color. The Automaster has 1 0 for every color, you have 1 1 for every color, has 2 1 for every color. So really, it's not hard. It's not hard to splash in 4 colors if you really want to play this card.
It's pretty amazing.
And it also gives you a reason to not ditch cards in the first turn.
Mm-hmm.
So not because it's a draw trigger climax, because of the fact that you don't even need to do it to get the cards you need.
So this gives you, well, it's kind of a trap in and of itself then, because I mean, like, when you don't take that mulligan, you do have that added risk of not being able to, like, sure, if you start with this character and the climax, it's pretty good, but of course, I think you'd still want to take a mulligan as possible and use this card as a setup.
It depends on the player. If I decide not to mulligan, it's the fact that I can go ahead, pitch 3. There's my salvage options, and then search 4, which kind of a brainstorm to your hand.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like, normally most Idolmaster decks run 4 to 6 comeback triggers, right? You're going to be taking about 3 to 4 slots with this Natsuhiro Colored Miracle, and I guess my question is, how many comeback triggers will you have left?
Probably 4.
In the deck. 4?
Probably 4. And it
one?
Depends. The current one, any of them. Yeah. All the climax, all the comeback trigger climax combo sucks.
So you just run one of each, or something like that?
If you really want to, you can play it live, which is the most relevant one.
I guess. True enough, I guess.
As far as climax combos goes for Idolmaster, they all pretty much suck. No one really plays climax combos unless they're playing Haruka, and don't die.
Not even the I want climax combo?
That's why I said Haruka.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense then.
Yep, this card is playable. I'm not actually sure if this will actually make any any dents as far as actually being played in a deck because it's a climax combo at it's still a climax combo card.
Anything that we can talk about for the upcoming releases?
Yes, English Nisekoi.
Yes. I actually covered this quite a bit with my English group. We came to the conclusion that English Nisekoi will not actually hamper the English meta as much as it did the Japanese meta.
Why?
Sal,
But Sao is it's also wrecking Sao.
it kind of doesn't if the see most of the builds right now in the English meta are, shall we say, improper to the Japanese meta. Focus on power even at level 3. Ironically enough, a focus on power at level 3 will prevent Marika from doing their thing. They don't get to restand, they only get to do the burn once, which honestly, one burn is manageable, especially with the amount of heal that Sao typically runs. Now, you have to remember that Sao can basically put up 21,000 walls, uh, um, with counters, of course, um, during the opponent's turn at level 3. They also have defensive level 3s, which not a lot of other English sets have. The ability to basically negate a front attack first damage is pretty decent, especially for that trial deck card. And that card is actually getting to see more and more play as people are realizing that it's a defensive play in basically a world of lack of defensive at level 3.
Other than that, there has been no real particular announcements. So I think that is it. Thank you for listening, and I hope you listen to us next week.
Yeah, catch you then.